and then you just run forward towards the enemies. A CM and a Lion early on can be problematic. But yeah, I agree. If I would have to choose, I'd definitely go for Talon. Their lanes actually aren't that bad. Morphling is one of the best heroes to lane versus the Primal Beast. You have a Bane, which is a pretty solid laner with you. Mars, Rubik. Ever since Mars came out, Rubik has been like the support to go with him. And then you have a Razor mid. So I don't know if Blacklist can do well in lanes, but if they do, then this game should be easier for them.
I mean, they only have one long cooldown in the lion finger, and even that doesn't stay that way forever. Every other spell that they have is pretty much always ready. So Blacklist should be skirmishing much more often than we saw them trying to like play on the edges of the map in game 1. Very fun game to watch this.
And the other side doesn't have the ways of shoving in the waves all that much as they had in the previous matchups. So that does make it a lot easier for Blacklist to make those plays, even if things are not going too well, right? Because not every single lane is going to be coming into your base like we saw in the previous one. And lanes are pretty much the most important part of Dota. That is how you make plays, by shoving them out.
I want to go back to something that you said in the previous game. As WS, they're taking a bit of damage. They're going to give Palos the deny. So they can get the additional gold there. 2 bounties as well, so much better start for the side of Blacklist. But when we were looking at the previous game, and you were talking about not just the ability to be able to shove in waves, but as these waves are being shoved in, what are the options for the enemy team to deal with it? And in this game, not only do you not have to worry about those kind of shove-in moments, but unlike in the previous game, they can actually make plays with like 2-3 heroes at a time. They don't need the entire team to always be congregating together to make these big moments happen. So much more freedom for Blacklist overall.
That is very true. It's an easier lineup to play, and easier lineup to play against. Let's put it that way. So I think this is a lot more even in terms of what these teams need to be good at to make these lineups work. I still think the previous lineup could have worked for Blacklist, but it was hard to make it happen. Now it should be a little bit more chill for them.
Also, because you have Tim's on his Lion, you have the potential on the Morphling in this game to make mistakes and just instantly die, right? Lion is one of the few heroes that can hard punish a Morphling's mistakes. So if you get caught lacking, not shifting properly throughout this game, Akasha will need to be careful of where is Tim's at all times. But it does add another element of danger in the game for Talon, but that also means more excitement for us, fam. I'm happy.
Yeah. For sure. I mean, Morphling always brings excitement, you know, even during the laning phase, you're watching him, he's low HP, you're instantly watching on the minimap and you're, no, he's just morphing.
No, he's fine. You won't be able to save Ponyo though. Yeah, Ponyo just gonna get swiped down and killed. Gabby getting himself the first blood here. Much better start to the game already for Blacklist.
A lot of people on the Primal Beast just don't go for the Uproar, and I'm liking that here in Southeast Asia we're seeing it 2 games in a row. It's just such a good spell level 1 that you should not skip it. The slow, the armor, like all of it really does make a lot of sense. Even the damage, you just bring heroes down so easily.
Can expect the fortunes of Blacklist to continue being favorable for them in the bottom lane. How is mid going? Well, it's going as expected, fam. They're playing as a melee hero versus Razor. Even though that melee hero is Pango, it is still a very, very tough matchup.
It is what it is, right? But Pango, you get levels and you're gonna be happy, though with 7 denies. I don't know how much in terms of levels you're actually getting. He doesn't even get the flag bearer creep. It's looking rough for Abed, but as expected, he knew it was gonna be like this.
Yeah. Game is hard, but that's just what happens. Top lane, a classic Mars Rubik lane. So far, not have been able to get any kills, but MJZ will have to watch his positioning as time goes on. And very easily die here with a blood grenade and these spells. I'm actually surprised Jokam's not positioned further up to start marinating him in the meantime. But bottom lane, we end up losing this Lion as Ponyo finds some revenge onto Tims, getting the first kill for the side of Talon.
Overall, as Morphling gets more levels and Bane as well, it is going to be getting rougher for Blacklist in the bottom lane. That's just how it works in a Morphling versus a Primal Beast matchup. the Morphling usually does well there. Ever since the Primal Beast was introduced, Morphling and the Faceless Void have been solid heroes to lane versus it.
CS advantage overall quite favorable for the side of the Talon lineup, except for this top lane, where the Lifestealer is doing very, very well for himself. You mentioned he needs that early Armored Radiance. Looks like he's on track to get both of these spells right now, especially if MJZ is not dying. In fact, they might actually kill WS instead. Balos just needs a couple of more hits, but he's underneath the tier 1 tower. He took too much damage. Yokam hit him with the Fade Bolt, threw a blood grenade at him, and spammed him with the right clicks, and that leads to them killing off the Lifestealer. Worst case scenario, Harry.
CM is in trouble as well. They baited her in there with the sticks, and the Fairy Fires will be surviving in the end, but that should never happen. You know, as one famous Dota streamer would say, never, ever, ever, never, ever happen.
Ooh. Well, it happened in the situation. Unfortunately, he did not have rage. And WS caught him lacking on the wrong side of the spear. And now he's getting lifted back, thrown again into the tier 1 tower. Balos is in danger. Balos is about to die. MJZ trying to bail him out of trouble. And Balos, he's life-stealing back into this. They're actually going to kill off Yokam instead. Very well played by this Lifestealer. And make sure he averts disaster in this top lane.
Still not good enough. He lost half of his HP. Does he have a salve? The CM has no tangos. This is still not good for him. The second that the Rubik comes back, it is gonna be problematic for him.
Rubik is here right now. Palos sees him. They're picking him out. They want to go for it, but looks like Palos will be able to stay away, stay alive. Down bottom, they're actually gonna jump Akashi. The onslaught from Gabby. What a play, Tims. Catches the Morphling lacking. We spoke about it. This was gonna happen. We get a showcase of it early on in the game right here.
You talked about it, that Lion is the best, or one of the best heroes to catch a Morphling off guard, and Tim's going off script. 2 points in Earth Spike, 1 point in Hex, no points in the mana drain. So he's not playing your I'm gonna jump between 5 heroes with the plate mill and just start sucking them. No, he's gonna play the old Lion. I'm gonna keep you in place forever, and you're just gonna die.
Successful on that count. Allows them to experience some success. In the middle lane, we might have a small skirmish here as MJZ was trying to at least deal with this Saroon. He will succeed in doing so. Denies it away from Tren. Will die for this though, it seems, unless Abed can bail him out. And no, he won't. No consequences. This is really, really good for Blacklist.
Abed hit level 6 before the Razor. He could actually go for this play if he wants to, but decides not to. With the Lion coming, they should go for Tren.
Tren is might die here. Swashbuckle on top of him, Abed. Going in with the Rolling Thunder. MJZ is here as well, casting out the spells. Your tier 1 tower will not protect you. And he ends up dead. Tims also make sure to get the Hex out onto Ponyo for good measure so they can't get chased down. Now Abed and the boys get themselves a very good kill. Getting that level 6 before the Razor. Firstly, I did not think that was going to happen, but being able to utilize it in this way will keep the Razor from having his sect yet.
Okay, this is a beautiful start for Blacklist. The Primal Beast is ahead of the Morphling by a lot.
Oh, WS is dead. Is he dead? No, no. He does dodge the Swashbuckle. He might actually survive this.
Nice.
Yeah, not enough damage. Abed missed the Swashbuckle, so they can't punch him down. Ends up surviving.
He even had the Healing Lotus. I think even if you do get hit by that, you Healing Lotus TP away and you're still fine. But in general, very nice for Blacklist. If there wasn't that one blunder of Palos dying on the top lane, it would pretty much be a perfect laning phase.
What a death that was, though.
Yeah.
What a death. As our game does get paused for a moment, let's take a little bit of stock. In terms of the overall CS scores, things have started to normalize somewhat, but net worth is accruing more towards Blacklist. The only person that's really still struggling is Abed on this Pango, but as we have seen, not just from him, but many other teams that play Pango, that this hero doesn't necessarily need the hotter start to be effective in the game.
Yeah, I don't know if you could even say that he's struggling. He has levels, that's what you want. And with you having a CM level 5, 7 minutes in, you two can just go for kills wherever you want. So he can get himself back into this game super, super quick.
How far is Lifestealer on his items? I'm just getting a drip showcase. Seeing what everybody's rocking right now. A floating Pango for whatever reason. Who knew he could fly?
I think
That looks
is,
cool. That looks like a movie poster, though.
It looks like he's riding an imaginary horse. Not gonna lie.
Albert gets refilled middle. And we'll see where Tim's goes here after. He's been very effective in helping his team in this earlier portion of the map. But we're back to farming, Harry. Nothing really is going to be taking place. I think both teams going to get some more levels, finish the first big item or two before they make these moves.
Hunting Primal Beast, though.
They chase each other with the onslaught, but Gabby's onslaught seems like it's a little bit faster. That was actually hilarious. Looked like they were running a relay race.
No, you have to understand what that is. That is literally a two dinosaurs or a male one chasing a female one, right? Because they did go extinct, so they're trying to repopulate once again. But yeah, Morphling definitely not pretty enough, it seems.
Primal Beast, like, that's not my cup of, not my flavor of water. Sorry, Morphling. I'll try something else.
Yeah.
Top lane.
Just like you don't like sparkling water. That's the same thing.
Sparkling water is disgusting, my friend. CM is gonna end up dead. Feels bad. Although I'd rather die 10 times in a match than drink sparkling water. It's that bad.
Okay.
And playing carry, kill me 10 times. It's okay.
Okay, cool. I've never met somebody who hates it that much, but to each their own. That's fine. Still, the game is going well for Blacklist. They are keeping the game slow. This is what you want with a lifestealer. Just not allow him to get pressured. Talon might be the ones that need to make moves, but the thing is, it's easier for Blacklist to make moves at the moment, and that's exactly what they're doing.
We're gonna try and look for Akashi, hopefully. Ponyo is in the area, but Tim's only has eyes for the Waterman here. Waterboy gonna be forced away from what he didn't get through the trees. Akashi in an awkward place right now, but do they have the damage to get through the morph? It does not seem like
They
it.
should.
They don't. They're gonna still try for it. Tims has level 6 with the finger, and they get the burst right now. No allies streaming in from Talon to help him out. So it takes 4 heroes, but very successful rotation from Blacklist nonetheless.
Ponyo is thinking about setting something up here, but he might be setting himself up for death. You're versus a CM, my friend. You just run.
Against the CM, against the Pango, a Lion. And now you've also gifted this Pangolier more gold towards his Diffusal Blade, making the game harder for everybody. Nice.
Pretty good. Blacklist having... This is exactly the game that they wanted to have. Now, it's on Talon to try and slow it down. And usually versus a lifestealer, you don't want to do it. Morphling TP to the bottom lane, and they're coming for him again. Run!
He has Pulverized back online from Gabby, and they know exactly where he's at. He's gonna onslaught away, but as we've seen how this race is gonna go, I don't think Akashi's gonna escape here. Although he goes to the right-hand side here, trying to escape through these eastern trees. Gets caught as he's trying to get through the twin gate. There's no escape for you, my friend. You thought he was TK, thought he could do the race forever. But just like TK, gets arrested, sent into the fountain, and that's another kill for Blacklist.
Yep, and they also open up the towers. They don't lose any of their own. The lifestealer just immediately returns to the top lane, and this is it. Talon are trying to get heroes to fight in the mid lane. Blacklist don't need to do it. You don't need to bring your supports back because it's gonna be the easiest to catch the Lion and the CM around the mid lane. But actually, before you get a Blink Dagger on this Mars, it's problematic. You can't do it, and we see this a lot. People just use all of their smokes in this 12 to 20 minute mark, and it's just perfect for Blacklist. They should be getting so many kills.
Gonna look for WS here. He is trying to run away from Palos. Gone are the days of having open wounds, so he can at least spear Palos back. Not gonna be in danger of getting caught, so does survive in that particular situation. But still, Blacklist feeling so good about the game overall. Palos is next to being the net worth leader. They just finished a Diffusal Blade from the Pango, so he can just roll around fighting, give Palos time to get to his big items. Everything is coming up Blacklist right now.
Any dodge of a rotation, if you're Talon at the moment, is good, right? Because things are going way too good for Blacklist. In these kind of scenarios, you can very easily get to like 5-6k gold lead if you're Blacklist. Just a couple of moments of not being focused on Talon, and you get ran down. 1, 2, 3 of your heroes get taken out.
On the bright side though for them, they still maintain some decent map control on the side of Talon. So still avenues for them to farm. It's only really Akashi who's had his tower taken, but the rest of the map stays free and fair. So this Morphling can try catch back up, because he is losing ground against the Lifestealer in the net worth battle. It doesn't get much easier for him after this Radiance finally emerges from the LS.
Definitely not, and that is the thing, right? You might have some map control, or we see those towers being up, but they cannot get so far away from them. And farming the jungle for the Razor and the Mars isn't ideal, and then they're putting the Morphling in tougher spots. So in general, Talon, before they get that blink on the Mars, who is 600 gold away, it is gonna allow Blacklist to apply a lot more pressure and thus get more farm.
Well, Ponyo will be sacrificed on the altar of giving Tim some finger damage, getting zapped behind the tier 1 tower, which has seemingly opened up space for Blacklist to pressure this tower themselves. Less than half HP, a creep wave approaching. They really want it. And Talon, I don't think they're going to be that well positioned to fully commit for the defense. They go in with Truen, just throwing in the Razor ultimate for now. But Blacklist, they actually just smoke back. They're gonna try and go approach the top lane to kill off this Mars from WS.
Oof, this is the thing, Talon are so much weaker, but you would want to punish this because you know that they are coming. But you just can't do it, you have to run. It's not even close. This is the 14-minute wisdom rune though. They're gonna go full on forward.
Gonna go for this. Oh no, Tims finds the stun onto WS first. The Mars, there's no arena just yet. He finally finds it. It lands onto 4 heroes in tandem with the freezing field though, which is gonna block off the approach from Talon. Both 5 positions have died, but Tims loses his life. And now here comes the punish. Pulverize from Gabby onto WS just to give his team time to escape. But Palos, he cannot get out. He's infested in the wrong target. And as he comes out, he gets right-clicked down by Akashi and the boys. Talon Esports, they were ready for the fight, and even though they got their stuns onto the Mars first, they can't kill him off, so the turnaround from Talon is incredible. And they end up beating Blacklist 4 heroes to 1.
You don't have ways to catch the enemy supports that needs to die at the start of the fight, but don't worry, Blacklist say, here you go, have them, we don't like them anyways. And the second that the supports die, it's so easy to take the cores down. You brought in 5 heroes for that, Blacklist, and you've lost so much. That play would have made sense if you went for a first item BKB on the Primal Beast, so then he can just create so much space, but this, it was an unnecessary risk that I mean, you had such a good game going, now you gave it back to Talon.
When they went in for that engagement, the Lifestealer was about 2.5k gold ahead of the Morphling. Now Morphling's on top. Most farmed hero in the map. And you know what you were asking in the drafts? How broken is Lifestealer dealing with all of these counters? In that fight, he did not look broken at all. It looked like a very routine kill for Talon overall to deal with Palos.
For a Lifestealer, you do need 3 items. Usually is your power spike, right? It's like Armlet, Radiance plus 1 item. Radiance allows you to farm super quick, but you know, let's not talk about Blacklist. Let's not talk about Talon, who finally have the blink on the Mars, so they can be on the aggressive. A couple of their next smokes, if they work out, they are gonna be quite far ahead in this game, and they're trying to do it immediately with WS.
They can get also this blink dagger on the Rubik, which is not that far away. Their initiation prowess will skyrocket. Only a couple hundred gold for the Rubik. In the meantime, there's a fight in the river here. Rubik with the stolen freezing field, slowing down MJZ long enough for Akashi to catch up and try to bring him down at the right click. At the same time, there's going to be an arena drop down onto Gabby. He doesn't have a BKB, cannot get out of here. He'll get killed off by Akashi as well. Double kill for the Waterboy. Yet another skirmish won by Talon. And you can just feel the balance of power going now in the Radiant direction, Harry. Blacklist starting to fall behind.
And Finger was also expanded there onto the Morphling. Nims tried to go for it, but Akashi is a smart enough Morphling player to play just on the edge that the Earth Spike and the Finger cannot kill him. So that was just beautiful. Abed going forward.
Oh, wait. They're looking for Truen, but this Razor now is a BKB. We spoke about it in the draft. What do you actually do against the BKB Razor? The spear back onto Palos, enabling Trent to steal even more damage. Maybe marinating him for Akashi to come in for the cleanup, but he's walking into a freezing field from MJZ. They need to get the hell away from here. Or they can just kill the Crystal Maiden. Very nicely done, but Gabby even better with the onslaught through 2 heroes, killing the Razor and the Bane. Now he turns his attention towards WS with the Pulverize, secures the triple kill. And my god, Talon, they were looking ascendant, but Gabby brings them back down to earth, crashes into them as the dinosaur, and puts Blacklist back in the driver's seat.
A completely different fight when the Pango and the Primal Beast are not controlled. Pango getting out of almost like near death a couple of times in that fight, continuing to spam the swashbuckle, and then Gabby coming in, onslaughting through everybody. When you get this late into a fight with a Primal Beast, even when you don't have a BKB, it's like you do, because pretty much all of the spells have already been expended. So Talon, they thought that their enemies got deep again and they could punish them, but the thing is, Morphling, it's still at 9k net worth, doesn't do all that much damage. You need Manta, maybe even +1, you mentioned the Kanda, for the Morphling to really start packing a punch to be able to finish those heroes off, and you were lacking it in that fight.
Morphling at least has a Manta style now, so that's gonna help him in the survivability department, but still a ways to go. And this game is gonna get much more dangerous soon, because we just got a Blink Dagger for the Lion, and we've already seen how effective Tims can be. Imagine now he can get even closer. It's going to be fun to watch, and we're also not that far away from having the Radiance of Palos. So Blacklist, things will still continue to accrue positively for them. That being said though, now that we have a tier 1 tower taken by Chuen on the top side of the map, Talon are starting to finally advance further and further away from their side, which does give space for this Morphling to keep farming.
For sure, for sure. But I think we are in a position that I wanted to see in general, that none of the teams is crushing the other one, and then we're really gonna see if these counters for Lifestealer actually work, and if Palos with some cool item choices will be able to equalize it, because you lost the top tower, but it's just before you get your Radiance. Blacklist, they have solid levels, they have all of their core items. Talon, pretty much the same. So we are, I would say, at a relatively even game at the moment. Of course, Blacklist being slightly ahead, but it's not too big of a deal.
Still early days, and from what we've seen, we're not expecting clean finishing from either of these lineups, so we're still going to be here for a while. No rush. But what's coming next? WS is close to his own BKB. Should get it around the same time that Trent finishes at least the SNY, so potential power spike still coming for Talon, but they're going to smoke up instead. They're going to try to force the issue. Abed just blinked back. He doesn't know it, but he was half a second from dying. If he doesn't blink right then and there, he is absolutely dead right now.
For sure. And I like he's going for a Lotus. There's so many things to return.
Oh, nice jump up from the Mars. WS finds the arena. They catch and kill Abed before he can do anything. And they throw MJZ into the gutter just with him. Gabby grabbed in with the Bane Fiend's grip. Didn't even bother with the BKB attempt. And 3 heroes just die all of a sudden in the blink of an eye. Well done from Talon. And their patience with the smoke pays off in that situation.
Yep, you just want to push it as much as possible. This is the thing. You catch the Pango or the Primal Beast, the fight is just over for Blacklist and you have to cut your losses, but it's just not easy to escape from Talon. It's not easy to escape from Blacklist either, so I think this is gonna be kind of what we're seeing. Whoever starts the fight is gonna be chasing for multiple kills. And speaking about chases, Lifestealer and a
bro, yeah. Palos is actually an insane player, dude. Palos is actually an insane player, dude. Bro, he finds the Rubik coming through the Twin Gate. He gets tossed north, comes back to chase the Rubik, sees the Rubik stealing rage and still decides to continue chasing him. I don't know what the hell happened there with Palos, but that is a catastrophic death. Honestly, I don't think I'm exaggerating here to say if they lose this game, that's going to be a very big reason as to why.
Yeah. You know, usually when somebody says, this guy's an insane player, you would think, oh, he's so good. But in this situation, it just meant, Palos, you're crazy. Like, go back. Like, just stop doing it, please.
Listen, I've been watching Palos for a few years now, right? Watching this man on the come up, especially when he was back on Execration, Bruh, I've seen this many times. This exact situation, so I'm not even surprised, honestly.
He played with Bob, right? Bob is even more mad, so I think he just picked it up on that one.
Dire are scanning.
Well, the team is going to smoke up right now. They're going to try to find some revenge. Well, they'll at least be able to pick off Ponyo. Not a very high kill for them. Chuan was right behind him. That would have been very nice if they could catch him. But at the very least, it shows that Blacklist still willing to play on the front foot even after that mistake.
Bottom tower is under attack.
This is one thing that you have to think about when you're infesting a Primal Beast. You should not get out of him during the onslaught. You have to wait for it to end. It's kind of the same as with the Magnus, but not so much because he will move the enemies away. He will push you from the target. So you really need to be careful if you're the lifestealer when you choose to get out of the Primal Beast. It's easier with the Magnus. You can communicate. You RP, don't move them, or I'm gonna come out once you skewer them back. With the Primal Beast, it's a little bit tougher and only relies on you as the lifestealer. So I'm looking forward to seeing if Palos is gonna be able to do it properly in this game.
Might need some infest plays right now because Talon yet again are coming through with the smoke. Their last foray onto the map was extremely successful. They're hoping to replicate that. Only Abed that's ahead of them right now, but he has Blink, has Swash. He's carrying the gem though, so it would suck if he died, but he does not. He gets away. MJZ won't be so lucky, but position 5, tanking the gank. It is what it is. It's what you're there for, fam. Nobody else dies.
It happens, but Abed has a Lotus Orb. That is a huge deal. Fiend's Grip, you cannot use it over it. The lift from the Rubik, gonna be quite annoying. And, of course, the Static Link. So that is a huge deal in protecting your lifestealer versus these counters.
Next fight will be the last one that might have an Aegis involved if they really want to take it right now. But turning their attention towards the tier 1 tower first. Blacklist, though, potentially setting up for a big move as they're bringing the Crystal Maiden nearby. I think they're just going to be happy to defend the tier 2s, hopefully. I don't want to see them force a fight here. We've already seen what can happen in the series when you fight before you're ready.
Overall, though, Talon can pressure the tier 2s. I think it's possible for them. The jump from Blacklist is okay, but the thing is you have the Bane save. If Ponyo is in a good position, you can make sure that either of your guys are getting their BKBs off. Morphling doesn't really need much because he has an Aegis. If the enemies jump on Akashi, that could turn out to be a mistake.
Tier 2 tower being sieged in the bottom lane by this Aegis Morphling. Sitting with a Kanda, Vlad and Amanta. Not an easy customer, but they're still going to go from. They actually burst them surprisingly quickly. WS finds an arena onto 4 heroes here, but he's right next to a freezing field. He gets himself pulverized in the corner, and Akashi comes in to help him out. He's going to buy enough time for them to at least kill the Crystal Maiden with the God's Rebuke. The rest of the crew, though, now showing themselves. Abed has brought these heroes very low with his ultimate. Onslaught from Gabby kills off the Bane. It's a 1-for-1 affair right now. And Akashi somehow magically did not end up losing his first life. He came very, very close. But they keep him alive. Conversely, though, Blacklist also keep the tier 2 tower alive. So it's a wash for both of these squads right now.
Yeah, pretty solid for Blacklist. The Bane Nightmare is just what allows you to live there. Though very ballsy from Blacklist to go for it. So who used more BKBs? So it was the side of Talon. Okay, then it is a slight win for Blacklist in general. Primal Beast didn't even pop his. So yeah, Blacklist are gonna be the happier of the bunch 100%.
Feeling good about themselves. And crucially, this also ticks down the counter on this Aegis. So pretty much it's going to expire before the next skirmish arrives. And they can start planning to get the Aegis for themselves on the side of Blacklist.
Dire are scanning.
What else is coming on the horizon that seems big?
At the moment, I'd say, I guess the Axe of the Pango is probably the biggest thing you're looking at. Everything else, as in the previous game, it's like, it is just gonna be making you slightly stronger. There are no more big power spikes. Maybe a lifestealer BKB later on, but that's about it.
The game has entered a bit of a chill phase here that Talon wants to end. They want to utilize the last moments of this Aegis as well as they can.
Radiant
Looking towards pushing into the tier 2 tower top lane. And they might try to jump onto Palos as well. Yokan is here, finds the lift, and they're all going to go onto him. Palos Is he gonna get bursted? Yes, he will. WS, very nice catch with the Mars. Gabby now looking for some revenge. They went towards Yokam, with Abed also throwing in the Rolling Thunder, but as they've just lost Tims, they have no more control. They don't have the burst damage. They will try to flee the fight. They get out. They're gonna end up losing a tier 2 tower though. But Talon, very happy that that's how they ended up finishing off the Aegis. A tier 2 tower, another Palos kill, and can they force a buyback out of him, Harry?
I mean, he doesn't want to. You have a glyph. No. You're not buying back. You cannot do it. It would just be suicide at this point in the game. You're already playing versus so many counters. You need a strong lifestealer. That was so unfortunate for Blacklist. They were coming through the portal, going for some weird move, and they weren't expecting Talon to just switch sides all that much. With that move on the bottom lane, I think Talon confused Blacklist, and Blacklist didn't really know how to approach this. And then you're getting two heroes that are coming from the vision of Talon. They see them, they jump the lifestealer, and there's absolutely nobody to save him at that point, not assist him in any way.
Also, nobody to save Gabby except for Ponyo. Ponyo actually had his back. The Nightmare made him miss the spear. He will have to commit the Fiend's Grip though to make sure he gets the kill. That's his mere culpa. He's like, I didn't want to pop ultimate, my bad, boys. In the meantime, Yokam chasing after Tim. They should be able to catch and kill him. Two more onto the chopping block, and they're not done just yet. They found the spear onto MJ's P. Dude, WS has been playing some Dota today.
No, this is the thing. You don't understand. You thought they were miscommunicating, but they were baiting the enemies, right? Because Gabby there, it was like, yo, guys, like, they are miscommunicating. They made a mistake. They missed the spear because they come help me. And then you just get the bonus to supports, even though he can't get out anyways.
Oh, man. With all these heroes dead, they're going to be going for more. Looking towards Ahmed, who's going to get himself bursted down. This Kanda from Akashi. Just doing way too much damage, and with all four heroes being gone, this will be an easy lane of racks for them to pick up. And all of a sudden, Talon Esports, man. The game was very even for such a long time, and then Palos died, they get an Aegis, and all of a sudden the game looks impossible. They're gonna try and still go for the kill onto the Morphling though, but they do not have the damage to burst him. And now WS gets off the arena, going onto Gabby. Palos try to save him with the Infest. We'll keep him alive a little bit longer, but not long enough. He is dead. Palos, no more entryway into the fight without his mid or his offlaner. And although Talon do back off, the damage they've dealt before they went is really gonna hurt Blacklist.
Talon are a better team at the moment. Like, from what I've seen in these two games, Blacklist couldn't deal with the Naga lineup that's shoving in your waves. They had the advantage in this one. Let's disregard the later portions of the game, what the draft might be problematic for them. They didn't even get to that point. We're not gonna see if the lifestealer can deal with these heroes, as they are way too far ahead to even assess the situation, right? So the idea is Talon, they're playing cleaner, they're making less mistakes, they're making less high risk, low reward plays, and Blacklist made quite a couple of them. So in general, Talon quite deservingly. So I think if we see a couple of more series between these two teams, that it's probably gonna go in the way of Talon every time, unless Blacklist have a long, nice conversation about what they're doing in the games.
We'll see what they do in this situation. They hopefully had a conversation about how to approach this fight, because the last few have been disasters, and if they lose this one, that could herald the loss of the game in the entire series. MJZ reveals himself in the wave. Abed has access to his lifestealer inside of him, and Gabby jumped forward, but he missed his initiation. Now he's just dead. No primal beast for the fight. Abed still goes in, though they find and kill Ponyo. In the meantime, WS makes sure that the supports are zoned back with an arena onto both of them, ensuring that they can no longer assist, and both of them die in the process. Palos, Rage CP out as his only option. Abed forced to blink away as well. And Talon Esports, they were prepared. They knew their fight was coming. They had their angles covered, but more importantly, they had the reflexes on the Rubik here, Harry, to stop the initiation from Gabby and ensure that the fight went in their terms.
Yeah, you don't feel too confident to just pop the BKB early before your jump, and then you get punished for it. But overall, Blacklist, they had some cool plays there, mainly the Lotus Orb of the Pango going through everything, returning the Fiend's Grip to the Bane, not allowing him to get caught. But WS for me is like the guy that has won this game for Talon. He knew his job. What's my job? To kill the supports. What do I do each and every fight, I kill the supports. He just waits to see them and arenas them every single time. Sure, some of the cores are sometimes gonna be in it, but this is not what you're gunning for. You want the CM and the Lion out of the fight, and he has been doing it perfectly throughout the game, actually. At the start, keeping his team into it, now just allowing them to increase the lead.
Some questions can be asked about Blacklist positioning, that both the supports are always getting caught simultaneously. But nonetheless, mostly down to the excellence of WS, like you said. And he's been rewarded now by getting a Hex. So they have even more initiation from the Mars. And they're about to pick up an Aegis for the Smurfling. Dire side will scan them out, but Blacklist rivalry, they know they have zero chance of actually taking this fight right now. But now you're in this catch-22. If you don't come try and stop them from taking this Roche, how do you stop them from just taking your buildings when they come up the ramp?
Almost impossible. The Morphling will just go forward. You have the Aegis, you have the Bane Sleep behind you. A Rubik no shard, but doesn't matter, and you have the banner, right? In these situations, you can just place the banner there and go forward. So it's gonna be fine. Plus, WS is infested with Rubik. I think these are cute plays that you shouldn't go for. This is one of those things where we are jumping in like mad, and then you're just losing heroes unnecessarily. Just get out of him with that Rubik, and use the infest as a saving tool to give somebody's HP back. Please.
There's a conversation I've had with one of my friends about Dota, right? And one of the things I always say to him is that I feel Dota becomes much harder when the game is going too well. You start losing focus, you know, not paying as much attention. At this point, he's just like, whatever, dude. I'm gonna go inside, hang out, see what happens. He's not like playing at maximum level. If they were 10k less ahead than they are now, he would not be doing this. He would have been outside a long time ago, but the game's going too well, man. That's when you start goofing around.
Maybe. You know those pubs when an enemy leaves after first blood, and then you're like, ha, 5 versus 4. We're gonna crush them, and then you lose the game because you just didn't pay attention.
That's exactly the situation, man. We've all been there. We've all been there. Right now, though, Talon got their game faces back on. They're locking in. They're looking towards that upper bracket final. Want to give themselves the easiest path to DreamLeague 23, and now they found it through catching Palos. WS, though, will get caught back by Gabby. They didn't have enough damage to burst down Palos, so this Lifestealer will infest into the dinosaur and escape. MJZ, though, he cannot do so, so he's going to get taken out by Akashi. Alright, he does still have buyback, but that was pretty much everything committed by Blacklist to try and look for that defense, so they might not have anything left for the offensive capability. They will be able to burst out Ponyo, but Akashi immediately finds revenge by eliminating Tims. There's a buyback coming in from MJZ. Can he actually meaningfully help out in this fight? Crystal Clone stolen away by Yokam. It'll be used up in conjunction with the Adaptive Strike to bring down the Primal Beast, bursting him in. Akashi acting as the gatekeeper, not allowing Blacklist rivalry to get back into this game. He is camping the fountain. Palos, he's just not strong enough. He's trying to get outside the base, trying to force them back, but he lacks the power to do so. Running back into the fountain, another buyback from the Primal Beast, but these heroes are just not dying. In the meantime, mega creeps have been achieved, and WS will die. He does have buyback, not going to use it just yet. Akashi just blinks away to the low ground. He will not be in danger from this impending chase from Blacklist. He dodges against the swashbuckle. And now they're going back in. Abed and the boys, can they actually kill anybody here? Palos, he needs help. He's getting all his life and damage drained away by Chuen. So Chuen will not die on this Razor. Akashi instead zones them back into the base. Primal Beast gets himself hit with the Fiend's Grip. He dies right outside of things. And although Akashi does die, that's only his first life. Palos, does he have anything left in the tank? Goes in with the rage, looking for Ponyo. He's trying to TP out. They won't let it happen. The God's Rebuke kills him off. And with these buybacks, Talon Esports have done it. They force out the GG call, and they book their ticket into the upper bracket final. The road to DreamLeague 23 is ever clearer for the Flying Talon.
You know how sometimes in EU we say, oh, that is an anticlimactic